Thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. If you want to design and build a beautiful website, you can do it all in one place with Squarespace.
I'm talking about something they can't capture on a camera. I'm talking about your life, babe.
Welcome to another video, everybody. Today I'm going to be trying out tiny watercolors. I don't think they're going to be good. Like, that's just my initial theory. Small things are always better, but I don't know if that's the case with this. Look though, so cute. And it has a tiny little brush. We got it at the Getty Museum a few years ago. Actually, the person that served us at the gift shop watched my vlog. So hello if you're watching, but you probably aren't. I know, it was a long time ago. It's nice to sit down and do something silly. And using a 90-cent mini paint set will allow me to feel like mistakes are okay because it's basically chalk. So all of the materials that I'm using will be down below. First, I want to swatch this. I'm scared. For the swatches, I'll try and use the small little brush, but I'm not going to do it for the big one. What I want to do is be testing the watercolors. So I want to use the stuff that I usually use so I can really feel how different the watercolor is. A lot of people have been like, why don't you use $1 watercolor paper as well? And I don't want everything to be not performing well. I want to see how well it performs with my other well-performing favorite materials. You know what I mean? Oh my god, this is so small. It's not cool. Basically, the bristles of this brush, I don't know if you can tell, but they're made of basically plastic. This feels so silly. I feel ridiculous. Oh my god, this is no good. I'm really bad at using these kinds of palettes. I make a really big mess. I'm a really messy person. So I'm thinking that maybe when I start the larger piece, I just kind of like hack these little things out and put them into a larger palette, which I have over here. It looks not so bad when it's wet. It's kind of like smooth, but as it dries, it starts to look less and less smooth. It kind of looks like it's peeling. Oh well, we don't judge. We reserve judgment till the end. I hate panned watercolor just because I'm so impatient. And I feel like this takes so long to activate the watercolor. Do I actually put pink with that? Is that the actual color? Oh, the brown's not bad. The brown's kind of like a red. Okay, let's try it with a real brush. Fare thee well, my sweet angel. Maybe another day I'll use you. Let's try and blend colors, shall we? I'm going to make such a mess in this little pan. The watercolors I usually use are very smooth, and so they require... Well, they're also in a tube, so it takes very little water to activate it, which means that I'm not working it on the paper, and I feel like I do that all the time with pan. Maybe I'm just not experienced enough. Technically, this isn't watercolor. This is a mini paint set. So what it probably is like very chalky pigment-like substance mixed with water. And so when it dries, it kind of isn't spreading properly. It just doesn't look good. I'm not going to like this, I think. Okay, we'll set this aside. I'm going to try and take these out of the things. Do you think that's a bad idea?
Why do you need to do that, Sha'an?
Because I want to put it into a bigger palette so it's easier to work with. This is really difficult to work with. Wait.
Maybe just do it with your fingers. Like an ice cream tray.
Oh, so cute. This is really messy. Yellow. Green. Oh, it's so tough. Blue. Black. Brown. Okay. Done. This can go over here. I need to wipe my hands. This is not fully dry yet, but you can see these ones here are pretty dry. And they're kind of clumpy. I mean, it's not bad if that's the effect you're after. It's not generally what I'm after, but I mean, we can try and make it work. I think what I'm going to try and do now is kind of mix these a little bit so that I can have them ready and kind of think about what palette I want to create for this piece. I created this piece earlier. I thought it would be really fun, but now I'm like, maybe I won't be able to have my vision realized. Definitely don't think I'm going to be able to do any gradients, but we'll see about that. This orange one looks like a vitamin C. The warm colors in this are quite sweet together, so I'm going to try and like stick to that as per usual. Okay, let's do it. It's July, June, July, August, September, October. 3 months until Inktober, guys. I'm thinking of making another list, but you know what's not great? I feel really bad for the people that don't care about Inktober and have to see it on my feed for like a month and only see that, and that's the obsession that I have. But for the last couple of years, I've created my own prompts, and it's been really, really fun because amazingly people have followed along with my prompts. Last year we had like 30,000 entries on the hashtag and they were great. I was so excited. I think part of the reason I just do it is so that I can see everyone's work. Chris is always worried about me doing it because my whole life is consumed by it, and I get really stressed because I find it really hard to be consistent. You guys know this already. So being consistent with painting every day for a month is a lot on top of other work. Last year when I was doing Inktober, I was finishing up bandits, not the stuff on the computer, but the physical artwork. There was just a bunch of stuff that I was doing and it was really, really stressful. I almost had like a breakdown, I'm pretty sure. But I was really proud of the pieces that I produced for Inktober, and I was really proud of the pieces that everyone else was producing. So that's why like I cannot pass up the opportunity to participate, because it's just so fun to see everyone's interpretations. I want to encourage people to like do whatever they want, because I'm more interested in people completing something every day. I call it Inktober, but they're really just drawing prompts. Maybe this year I shouldn't call them that. You guys let me know what you think, because a lot of people are very precious about Inktober and there's a lot of backlash. Like I remember the first year I did it with like liquid watercolor, which for me behaves in a very similar way to ink, or to how I would be using ink anyway. But some people really didn't like that. So the next year I used Copic marker, like a fine liner and pencil. I'm not sure what I'm going to do this year. Do you think I should do just like plain old ink? Is that I don't want it to be repetitive. I think last year was quite repetitive. I would love to do something with backgrounds, and I just don't know if I have the stamina or the time. Most of the fun for me is just like completing the challenge with my audience. It was just so fun last year. You guys should check out the hashtag. It was FLP Inktober 19, and then FLP Inktober was like the first year's. It's so pastel-y. It's so weird. It doesn't feel like my work. It's so bizarre. Another thing I like about Inktober is that like it allows me to discover awesome people. Like I feel like I followed dozens of people that participated in my Inktober last year that are amazing. I just finished watching Avatar: The Last Airbender. We both never watched it before for some reason, and everyone says it's good, so we started watching. It was very good. We finished it very quickly. I didn't really like the ending. I didn't feel like Aang should have been with Katara because he had no hair. I thought he was a baby. And so when they kissed, I was like, what? But I guess he was a teen. Also, I wanted Katara to get with Zuko because they had so much tension. It would have just been like, yes! But I really liked like how, I think they really explained like what it was like to airbend and to like earthbend and firebend and waterbend. I think they explained that really well, like what it felt like and why you need to restore balance and stuff. I really like that. I thought that they put a lot of thought into that. This is so pale. This is so like, what's that word? Pastel. I can't even think of the word. That's how little I use those colors. It's nice to like pick up a paintbrush again. A lot of the work that I've been doing, which you've probably seen on my vlogs, has been just like stuff on my tablet and like digital stuff, which isn't bad. It's like right for what I'm using it for, but it's just not exactly the same, and I'm sure it's not as interesting to watch either. I don't know, you guys let me know. I always feel really paranoid when I'm like do very computer or digital heavy stuff in the vlogs, because I'm like, this is boring for people. I try and make it as interesting as I can with like shots and stuff like that, but I don't know. I just don't know if it's interesting to watch a screen on a screen, you know? What is this gonna be? Honey, I don't understand what this is supposed to look like in the end. That's the problem. I'm just trying to like layer up the foreground elements and like the main subjects so that they stand out from the really, really pale background. And then I think I'm going to go over it with pencil, like an outline, just to create dimension. friend Jess, who's like an illustrator and letterer. She's just she made a post today where she's offering free project-specific advice and feedback to illustrators and letterers who are people of color or identify as part of the LGBTQ plus communities. So if you were a part of those communities and you have a project that you want a professional review, she is excellent, by the way. She's done amazing book covers. I trust her with my work. So it's also for students and recent graduates, which I think is fair enough. So if you would like to take her up on that, I will leave like the link to her post about it in the description. I really recommend doing it. Like, you have nothing to lose, you have everything to gain. She's super skilled. She's been in the industry for a good while, and not just as a letterer and an illustrator. She was a designer at an ad agency as well, and she studied art direction, I'm pretty sure. So she has a really great knowledge. It would be a really, really good resource for you guys. I really recommend doing it. I might try and redo this piece again, like in digital, or with my usual watercolors, because I like the concept. I just don't love the way that I've rendered it and the look of the watercolor. Not the best, not the worst.
That's lovely. It's beautiful.
Stop.
I think the colours are great. It's so it's not, your usual thing, but you've pulled it off well. It looks very Adventure Timey, like that pink.
Ooh. I would like to hear what you guys think. It's definitely not like my usual work. It's quite pale. It was difficult to work with, but I don't mind like the pastel blue on the yellow. Like, I kind of like that it looks like an old photo, like an old faded photo. Be kind, okay? It's 90-cent watercolor. I would like to thank Squarespace for sponsoring this video as per usual. Unlike this watercolor set, Squarespace is very easy to use. I've said it before. There's lots of different platforms that do these things specifically, but the best thing about Squarespace is when they see that there's a need for something, they will work to integrate it really nicely into their platform. So you're not really like subscribing to this and subscribing to that and sending people to this URL and then sending people over here. It's really all in one. And I know I've said that before, but that's truly what it is. They work really hard to create a very seamless experience for a number of different uses and a number of different parts of like a online ecosystem, if that makes sense. I think that's a really good way to describe it. It's like a bunch of different things that work really well together, but as a user, you see it as like one single product. Go to squarespace.com/furrylittlepeach and you will get a free trial and a 10% discount on your first purchase. I sound like a fangirl because I am. I hope you like this little relaxing video, even though it was a bit stressful for me, but I hope it was fun to watch. That kind of stuff is fun to watch when someone is struggling. For me, it was relaxing the way there's not work related, like a vlog is, and it's something new, like it's a watercolor that I don't really understand or use, and so the expectations were quite low. But let me know what you think. I might try and do this piece digitally or with other watercolors because I do think it's cute. And I don't want it to be wasted on this. So actually follow me on Instagram because I'll post it there if I do it again. Yay! I'm like on a stage. What?
Bye.
This isn't lettuce, by the way. That's a new plant. I haven't potted yet, so.
Yeah.
If anyone thought it was lettuce, it's not.
Tired. Time to go to sleep. Bye-bye.